Hey everyone, it's Ally and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over Snif fragrances once again. Like I said in one of my previous videos, this is a house that I've been really getting into. I've been really enjoying their fragrances and sort of exploring their library of fragrances. Granted, they don't have a lot, but they have been releasing some collabs recently, and I do have two of those collabs with me right now, and one of the ones that they have in their sort of staple collection. I'll go into the staple one first just to get that one out of the way. The one that I picked up is called X on the Beach, and this is a really interesting fragrance. I didn't know how to feel about it when I first got it. You've got notes of fig, ylang ylang, orange blossom, jasmine, peony, and cedarwood in the base, but when I first sprayed it, I was kind of like, it's floral. There's something about it that's really bright, that's sort of citrusy, which I'm assuming might be a little bit of that orange blossom mixing in with the ylang ylang. I definitely get the zing from the fig. There's sort of this figgy quality in the opening, and I do get that quite a bit throughout the wear of the fragrance. It's a little ambery smelling, definitely woody in the base. And it's so weird because when I first sprayed this one on, I was like, oh, I feel like this leans a little bit more masculine, but as it dries down, it starts feeling a bit more feminine / unisex. And then towards the deep dry down, it sort of went a little masculine again and then feminine again. Like, it's a really interesting fragrance. It's not bad. It's just definitely different. I honestly did enjoy it. It took me for quite a ride when I wore this fragrance. It's warm, it's inviting, it's definitely floral. It's almost like an ambery floral woody fragrance, which I wouldn't really consider so much of a beach fragrance. Just because of the name X on the Beach, I would think like, oh, sort of beach vibes or something. But this gives me more like maybe a nighttime beach party, you know? That's where I could see this vibe working. Definitely not so much daytime beach, but definitely like after party, nighttime beach party vibes is what I get from this. It's definitely really nice. Definitely a unique fragrance, nothing like I have in my collection, and I'm kind of happy I have it in my collection. I do enjoy it, and I will be wearing it. It's just one that had to grow on me. There is something really odd about the fig in the opening. It's very figgy, mixing in with that orange blossom, giving it a little bit of a zing, was kind of throwing me off, and then that really prominent woody base with those florals, it just seemed really odd. But like I said, as it dries down, this one does get better, I promise you that. The next one that we're going to talk about is one of their collabed fragrances, and this is the packaging for that fragrance. This is Pacifico by Surfaces, and I really wanted this fragrance when I saw it was coming out. It has a sleeve that comes off like this, and then it sits in a box like that, and the fragrance just pulls out, and you have the fragrance in here. I really enjoyed the bottle for the collabs that they do, like the bottles, because they're always like special bottles, which is why I tend to gravitate towards them. I'm always like, I want the bottle. And I kind of love these boxes too. Like, I have the Strawberry Moon one, and I think it's really cute. I haven't brought myself to throw the box away, just because I kind of really like the boxes. I try not to keep boxes when I buy fragrances, but if the packaging is really cute, sometimes I tend to keep it. And for Pacifico and Strawberry Moon, it's just so freaking cute. Like, I don't ever want to part with it. But the fragrance looks like this. It says Pacifico by Surfaces, or yeah, Surfaces? Surface? I don't know. It says Pacifico. And it's this cool orange color. I love the bottle. Orange is one of my favorite colors. And when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. When I bought it, it came with a card like this. It had notes and information on the back. It said, behind the collab scent, we teamed up with the music duo to create a limited release scent that reflects their album Pacifico. And it was inspired basically by their time that they spent in Malibu. That's what this fragrance is supposed to invoke, the feeling of being in Malibu and the beach and all that good stuff in summer. And yeah, the great thing about this company is that they make genderless scents. They're high quality premium ingredients. They're formulated clean, they're vegan and cruelty free. There's no preservatives, no phthalates, no parabens or synthetic dyes. So they're just overall good quality, clean fragrances that everybody can enjoy. The notes in this one in particular are rosemary, sage, you have salted jasmine, water lily, plum, California oak, and manzanita. And this one is really interesting. It's a very aromatic, salty fragrance. This is definitely in line with like Jo Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. If you're a fan of Jo Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt, you're probably going to enjoy this. Keep in mind, that one has just sage. This one has sage and rosemary. And I will say, in the forefront of the fragrance, you get a huge blast of rosemary. It's kind of like, whoa, like what is that? But as it starts dying down, you start getting this sort of salted skin-like accord that comes up on the skin. It's slightly salted, slightly floral. The woody base is so beautiful in this. The plum adds a little bit of a tartness to the fragrance. And as it dries down, I start getting very similar vibes to Jo Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt. But honestly, I would say this one is better. I really like the addition of the rosemary and the sort of aromatic quality it has when you first spray it. I think it's more interesting. And like I said, you think like, oh, whoa, what's that when you first spray it? But as it starts settling down and you start smelling the sillage that you're creating as you walk around, it's so beautiful, so clean, so bright, a little salty, very reminiscent of a beach, very reminiscent of, you know, being seaside. Like, I really, really like this fragrance. It's a really interesting one. Like I said, there are similarities between this and Wood Sage and Sea Salt, but I think this one is quite a bit better. I really like how simplistic, clean, airy, very beachy, very summer forward this fragrance is, which is going to do great in summertime. This is a very good high heat fragrance. All these fragrances that I'm talking about are all very like daytime work appropriate, I feel like. You can wear these and not really offend anybody. I've never offended anybody wearing these fragrances, which makes them really good for me to wear to work, because I can work with some real sensitive people that tend to just be very a lot sometimes. I mean, I can be a lot, but like sometimes they be a lot too. So that makes them really work appropriate fragrances. And honestly, this is a really good one. Definitely get your hands on it if you are a fan of Jo Malone's Wood Sage and Sea Salt, and wanted something that was a bit different, a little bit more aromatic, that dries down to this gorgeous, slightly floral, clean, salted skin sort of vibe. It's really, really interesting. I really like it. I think it's more interesting than Wood Sage and Sea Salt, which I do enjoy, by the way. I do love Wood Sage and Sea Salt. It reminds me of my mom, but I just think this one's overall a better fragrance. The next one, and the last one that we're going to be talking about, is their more recent collab. And I hope I said the name right for this one. It's Suganami, and this one was in collab with Steph Shep. And I think that's how you pronounce her name, Steph Shep or Sheep, I don't know. But a little bit about Steph, in case you guys don't know who she is, because I sure as hell didn't. Oh my god. I'm like choking on my own spit. I don't know why. And I don't edit my videos, so I can't edit this part out. Damn. You're just gonna have to bear with me, people. For those of you who don't know who Steph is, she used to be Kim Kardashian's assistant, who sort of branched off and did her own thing. Now she's in the entertainment business. She's like a model. She does a lot of work like that. I feel like a lot of women that tend to be assistants for the Kardashian family tend to do it for a while. They branch off and then become famous on Instagram. I know it happened for Kylie Jenner's assistant, and it happened for Steph, who was Kim Kardashian's assistant. She was her assistant, branched off, started doing the Instagram thing, and became huge. And she landed a collab with Snif Fragrances, and that's the collab that we're going to be talking about today. I was really curious about this. I didn't know much about who she was prior to the collab, and then I started looking into her to see who exactly she was, to see if it was something I would be interested in getting. And I came to the conclusion, girl, you're just gonna buy it anyway, just buy the damn fragrance. So I did. And the packaging looks like this. The packaging is, I think, compostable, so it's supposed to like not create landfill, which I think is kind of cool, but honestly, it's aesthetically not pleasing to me. But that's okay, because we be saving the world with the environmental crisis that we got going on right now. So that's fine with me. But like I said, it's not aesthetically pleasing. I only saved the box thing just so I could show you guys. But it's really like cheap, flimsy, which is fine because like they were going for the whole biodegradable thing, and I understand that. It was the vibe. And the bottle looks like this. It's black. It says Suganami on it. I think it's really cute. It's a really cool, simplistic, modern bottle. And I think the fragrance really matches that as well. Like I said, you've got notes of angelica seed, coriander, iris, rose, cypress, myrrh. You have amber, cedarwood, and a creamy musk base. And this one is a interesting one. It took me a minute to figure out how I felt about the fragrance. When I first wore it, the first day I got it, I was like, girl, no, girl, bye. Like, that's not the vibe. But I think it was because it was in transit and it was hot out when I got it. So it just hadn't settled fully properly, and I tried it the next day. Definitely smelled better. But sometimes I don't know how to feel about it. I do like it. Is it my favorite? Probably not. But it's definitely, if you're into creamy, powdery, modern smelling fragrances, I think this is modern. I think it has a chic quality to it. It definitely reflects her and her aesthetic and the whole promotional campaign they have going on. That sort of dark gray sort of fragrance. I get sort of a gray modern dark vibe. Like somebody wearing this is like sitting in their house. They have like black painted walls, like a black turtleneck. They're reading a book, sitting in their furniture. Very simplistic, very modern, sort of like futuristic-y looking. That's sort of the vibe I get from this. It's not bad. It's definitely different. It's definitely very powdery. You definitely get that angelica seed mixing in with the coriander. I don't get a lot of the rose. I do get like a slight floral, but it's very like ambiguously floral. A lot of iris. This is a powdery scent. The myrrh gives it this sort of really comforting, sort of smoothed out base mixing in with that amber. And you do get slightly woody nuances. But more than anything, I get this creamy, powdery, sort of spiced effect. That's not overtly spicy. It's more on the creamy side, very smooth and powdery. Definitely an interesting one. It does feel very like modern, futuristic, very artsy, sort of an abstract fragrance. If you're into those sort of fragrances, like abstract, sort of artsy, I would almost put it in line with, and I'm not saying it smells like this fragrance, but almost in line with like Narcisa Rodriguez for her, the one in the black bottle. That sort of abstract floral. This is almost like an abstract, creamy, slightly, just slightly spiced. It's like baby spiced. Like I wouldn't even almost call it spicy. It's just an interesting one. Like I said, definitely going to be one that's going to be a vibe. If you love it, you're going to love it. If you don't like it, you're really not going to like it. If you love powdery fragrances, I think this one is going to be probably a good one for you. If you're not a fan of powdery fragrances, then stay the hell away. Try a different one. This one ain't it, sis. Overall, not a bad fragrance. I'm glad I got it because I wanted the cute bottle. And like I said, I really love Snif's aesthetic. I love all the things that, you know, they do for the most part. As far as like their fragrances go, I don't like that some come and go. That makes me sad. But yeah, I really like the house overall. I'm glad I got these 3 fragrances. I will definitely be getting some more. I'm excited to see if they do any more collabs in the future, but only time will tell. We shall see. But anyway, till next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.